I would like to ask Almantas Samalavičius from Lithuania. And about Lithuanian experience, look, you have two examples right now, very different. You have the example of Belarus, in which there are liberal values being reborn, and so fantastic. And you have the example of Poland, in which we have the backlash of authoritarianism, and we have seen this latest decision on abortions, which is kind of brings back all the thoughts about biopolitics, biological politics of the 20th century. What is your impression from being in Lithuania and comparing these things? Do you think that the trend of Belarus will win, so the liberty will win in Eastern Europe, or the trend of neo-authoritarianism will win? When you look at, for example, Hungary or Poland. Almantas?
Well, it's very tempting, to give nice forecasts, but in fact, none of us knows how will things develop. And, looking backwards, to some recent events in our common Eastern European past, I am a little bit cautious, Of course, we support Belarus. Of course, we say, we support our neighbors, and that's very normal reaction. But generally, we have all the experiences that when you look, everything is going as if going very smoothly. Then in 2 or 3 years, when you look at the situation, it turns out that some other motives, come into play. Well, if I look back, say, at Lithuania's independence, in 1990 we said farewell to the Soviet Union. In 2 years we had former communists back into power. Just 2 years, of economic hardships. So I think that now at the moment we are very enthusiastic supporting our colleagues and friends in Belarus. But we should be very cautious, because the movement, I don't think it has a clear goal. You still have a big player, Mr. Putin, around, and I think he, at the moment, decides not the European structures, not the American president, but Mr. Putin is the biggest player in the area, and we should have this in mind, discussing things in Belarus. If you look at Poland, of course, you see the other situation, the freedom came to Poland even earlier, say, than to Lithuania, and they always had more freedom than the Baltic countries. And of course, then you see that simply the freedom is not a guarantee that any kind of developments in society will go in a certain desired, so to say, direction. So we should be prepared to meet a lot of things ahead, a lot of hardships, a lot of changes, a lot of surprises. Generally, I think, it's my very personal viewpoint, that authoritarianism has no future. But it might take more dangerous forms, more democratic forms, with various governments and parties, who exercise control with the help of PR, public relations, technology, manipulation of the masses, not just simply by power. I think this period when power, just the pure power, was, so to say, the main dominating element, is now over. But we are entering in a much more complicated, complex, and even more dangerous world.